You too. I'm good, and you?
I'm great. Awesome. This is good. I don't know if I remember, but I think this is the first time. Actually, there was the time with Emil, right? Where you were there when I was actually having
I
that
think
call
so.
with
Yes,
Emil and his
yes, that's
dad,
the
right?
first one. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So this is going to be quite a new endeavor, and I think we're really going to get to know each other very much more through this because we're
Okay.
going to spend a lot of time together. So yeah, that's actually going to be quite interesting. So
Cool.
yeah, so you've been working with Yanni and Emil, and who else? That's all.
Yanni, Neil, Kaylee, and I also worked with Tuto last year. And it was also, oh gosh, that little grade three girl.
Oh,
At one
yeah,
point,
my
yeah.
grandmother's name is Michelle, I think. Yeah.
I think it was
Okay.
something with an S. I don't know. I might be wrong.
Skylar. Skylar.
Yes, that one.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Okay. So how has been going so far? Like what have you learned up until now?
Up until now. Oh, well, I mean, there's been various things. Like, I mean, I find that, like, my methods have to adjust per person. Like, there are some things that stick across the board and that you can, like, kind of teach, but the way you teach it is also different because, like, people are at different levels and things like that. And especially with, like, the younger kids, I notice, like, reading is a little bit of a struggle more so. So with them, it's, like, more so
Yeah.
going from that angle too. And then with the um, older kids, it's more so, how to answer questions, like how do you approach this? And then like some people, you can go a bit deeper into the analysis, whereas some people you have to work more with the basics before you get to that point. So, everyone's at a different stage, so you just got to adjust. So you learn a
Mm,
lot of different methods of approaching people and stuff.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
also you also learn like not just like how to teach there, but like what interactions they connect with more and like how you can connect with certain students a little bit more so that they feel more engaged.
Yeah. Yeah. And how has it been with Emil? I've spoken to his dad, and he said that he got a really good mark for his paper two, I think. And
Yes.
I was so
Oh,
proud of that. I saw that video. I was watching that, that lesson to get an idea of your lessons. And I think I'm just really proud of how well he did. And I wanted to know from you, like, where is he with his learning and how has it been?
well, I can definitely say I see a mega improvement from where we started, which is really, really nice. Like, I'm sure we can still maybe work a little bit to push him into the 80s a little bit more. But like from where he began to now, like, it's quite a jump. I think he was getting like 50s and things like that. So now
Like
to
40
jump to
something.
70s, I'm
Yeah.
like very happy for him. Shame.
Yeah.
um, yeah, I think he's starting to understand like what the questions require of him a little bit more, and I can see that he's attempting that. Sometimes it's just like a mark or two off from what he needs to write down, but like, it's definitely clicking, I think, especially the more analytical kind of questions, what needs to be done. And I also saw like some of it, like his answers are getting more to the point.
Mm.
Sometimes it goes on a little bit, but like, the majority are more to the point than they were before, which is really nice. And yeah, just like the difference in the understanding and like he's noticing things a little bit more in general. So yeah, it's like it's quite the improvement. I'm very happy for him.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And his dad said that he wants to focus on language as well. So I said, okay, I'll do a bit of an audit of him and give you feedback. And to be honest, I find that he's very he's very, very dedicated compared to so much of the students that I've seen, and you'll see even in the homeschool, like the students have varying degrees of dedication,
Yeah.
and you'll see that you will be able to learn how to sort of adjust to each of that and sort of
Mm,
push them if you find that they are not able to dedicate themselves to the level they need to
yeah.
be.
I think what I've noticed with dedication and stuff, just even from like various peers and things like that, I think sometimes it's also like if they, I don't know, not all the time. Sometimes it's just like it could be other factors, but
Yeah,
like sometimes if they are enjoying the lesson a bit more, then they kind of want to participate a little bit more. So like I try to often like, I don't know, like make jokes or like
yeah,
bond a little bit
yeah,
to retain some sort of attention. Because I also like, I mean, I generally do like when I was in school, I would focus. I was very focused, but I definitely felt like, you know, hey, I'm enjoying this class. I actually want to participate, so it makes a difference when you feel like, when the students feel like they want to be involved. So, yeah.
yeah. And I
And
think
also,
that you
mm,
like the way that you just have that excitement with what you're doing, just they just pick up on that, that is something that is, it's hard
thank
to
you.
explain that you have to be having that as a teacher. It's that emotional
Mm,
intelligence, and you'll see like there's going to be so much of like things you're going to pick up on in the classroom, but this is something that I it's hard to communicate this to my tutors and my trainees. Like, how do you create a sense of excitement in the student without
mm,
like being a clown? The way to
yeah.
do it is to enjoy it yourself and sort of bring them into that enjoyment. So
Mm.
I've seen that with you. Yeah,
Thank you. I think even like, if you don't actually like something, and if you do want to critique something, you should, because they sometimes are thinking the same thing, and then they can engage with that too,
yeah,
so they know you're not like just trying to sell them something.
yeah, yeah,
It's like I
exactly.
find like that honesty also helps.
Yeah. And like, you know, um, there's there's two possibilities that you might end up working with this. The one
Mm,
is a group. So there'll be a group of say up to 10 students. So it could be a group of five, it could be a group of 10, or it could be a like one-on-one student. So
okay.
so yeah, so it just depends. Like I think you need to learn these kinds of skills and everything um for both options, all of the options that we have. But
Mm,
but yeah, I was gonna say something
but
about what we were talking about, but I
I
lost my
mean,
train of thought.
I'm sure it'll come back if it's important.
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
Um,
you were
but
saying?
sorry to interrupt. Yeah, no. So this would be like more like actual homeschooling versus like tutoring and just helping with like the work that
Yeah.
they've already been given. I would be like teaching a curriculum kind of thing.
Yeah, and what I was going to say was that
Okay.
with the homeschooling, the pressure is much more. It's not like a tuition lesson where they get to go home with their work and then it doesn't matter that much like what their marks are and things. This is like I don't think you
Mhm.
realize how much pressure that can feel like until you actually end up working with them and then being like, oh my God, so they get a bad mark. It can be sort of a thing of the teacher
Yeah.
didn't teach the child, you know, they didn't help the
Yeah.
child in the classroom. So
I
those kind
already
of
feel
things,
stressed like that.
yeah, I like to manage
Especially
that.
with Emil at first, because it was like he was kind of just getting slideshows at first, and I had to
Okay.
teach the slideshows, and he didn't have a teacher really
It didn't.
at first. I think that's what I understood. So like I was teaching him the content in his slides
Yeah,
for a while, and now I think he has like a teacher that he is teaching him, and then like that's actually a little bit more helpful because like there's some content that he covered there, and then like I just like I can fill in the gaps and like,
yeah.
but like, yeah, I kind of felt that initially, like with
Mm.
that, but I still like, I do want them to do well.
Yeah.
I don't want to miss things and stuff. Um, but yeah, yeah, okay, sorry.
Yeah. No, and that's true. Like, and that's the thing, like with our homeschool, we have different versions of, like, we have a much more focused version of online schooling versus something that Emil would be doing, which is like, he has to teach himself. His father would have to
Yeah.
take him through the work, stuff like that. He has to get a tutor. our students might need a tutor, and that's fine, but it's much more one-on-one and much
Yeah.
more, they sort of get babied. So get ready to see them getting babied.
It's
But
okay.
yeah, I mean,
I think.
because as a teacher, like I think we just realize where they need to be pushed and where there just isn't much of a point, and we can just
Mhm.
spoil it. But whenever we baby them, we teach them about the worth of that baby, because otherwise they take it for granted. So
Mhm.
you're going to see, I think it's going to help you so much with sort of having that authority with them and breaking that
Mhm.
fear of like, okay, I'm going to say this to the student and it's fine. And like, I don't think now obviously you're going to be bad or whatever, but there has to be a certain amount of discipline, and you will see how you'll be able to
Yeah.
incorporate that into your lessons, even with the homeschooling, with the tuition. And I think the best part about this training is that you will be able to apply everything to the homeschooling, to the tuition as well. So whatever you learn, you'll be able to apply it.
Mm.
And how do you
Amazing.
deal with the high level of stress? How do you deal with like, snobby parents and stuff like that? I actually wrote a whole list of all of the stuff that you are going to.
Well, look, I mean,
And
with
I mean, hey,
dealing with people and stuff
yeah,
like that, I feel like I'm quite diplomatic.
yeah,
Um, yeah, it's definitely like, I don't know, especially with the acting that I do and everything. And like, I'm also getting into the nail and makeup business as well. So, like, interacting
see
with
that in your TikTok.
human beings.
Yeah,
Sorry?
like I see your stories and stuff. So it looks
Ah,
like it. I see like TikTok videos and things.
thanks.
So
Yeah.
okay, yeah, that's very interesting. Like it looks really fun. They say that if you
Thank
want to
you.
become confident, you must take an acting class because you will feel the
Mm,
difference, of like a
yeah,
confident person. And I think it is like
that's
an act.
true.
Like you got to put up an act of the kind of teacher you choose to be. Like I don't
Yeah,
exactly show up everywhere the way I show up in the classroom, but you
true.
you got to create this persona. Otherwise, it's the kids will eat you alive. I'm just saying they will. I have
Yeah, I've
actually a
seen
lot
it
of
happen.
experience. Have you?
I've seen it happen. I've had teachers that have cried
Yeah.
in the class. Yeah, I've I've been the only one let out to break because of how everyone's behaved. I've seen the realities.
Have you taught like groups of kids, or do you like what is like private tuition the only thing that you do?
Yeah, look, because I've I studied acting and stuff, so that's like my main goal at the end. Like, so like then I got into tutoring, funny enough, through university because like someone was struggling with the theory and then she approached me and so then I tutored her and then like I started looking for tutoring jobs and then came and found you
Yeah.
guys and
Right,
yeah,
right.
so like I've mostly been doing the one-on-one stuff. I haven't like necessarily tutored to like a group of people. Um yeah, so this would be a different experience. But I guess like I mean we've had to like I guess teach each other stuff before or like so like in a less formal sort of context, but like yeah,
Yeah.
it would definitely be a different kind of thing to approach, but I'm up for the challenge.
Yeah. And, to be honest, this is going to be a very big learning experience. There's going to be a
Mm,
lot. I'm going to even a lot of times call you out and say, this thing you need to work on. So get ready
okay.
for the feedback, and some like a lot of times I do help my tutors to receive feedback in a way that doesn't bring them down, because I will be giving you feedback, with your learning, with your teaching and
Yeah,
your learning,
look,
because this is like a learning teaching thing. So,
I've
you know,
developed a strength for receiving feedback as
yeah. And I think as a teacher, I don't think you realize it, but you you need a mentor teacher. Like you need someone to mentor, especially when you find yourself in
helpful.
a like I don't think I don't think you would understand this because you need to have
Mm-hmm.
to be in that situation. Like say I took you
Yeah.
and put you in a group, or I said I put you in a classroom and I was like, okay, now teach. And that's when the reality hits you of like, this is so much more extreme than just a situation where you just with a student, which students can be difficult, like one-on-one as well, but it's more focused. So it just depends on the student, but
Mm,
in a group, it's especially with homeschooling, like with schooling, I think the mentality is a little bit different. So you learn, um you will learn how to sort of guide the class and how to deal with them, how to have discipline, and how to command the group, and you learn
mm.
how to apply your emotional maturity to the classroom as well. And I want to prepare you for this so that I can vouch for you and say,
Thank you.
Janina, I know. But when I do vouch for you, I know what your lessons look like. I've seen
Yes.
it, I've trained you through it, I've put you, and thus far, I've chosen you from the tutors that I have. So you are one of the tutors that I've chosen. I've chosen other tutors as well. There's many options that we have to choose from, but you are one of them. So I
Thank
really
you.
like you. But I want to take you to the next level where I can say,
Sounds
okay,
good.
this kind of teacher has that experience that I can put her in a group, I can put her with a one-on-one, and I can just let it go, and I know that
Mm,
you will be
that
able to
comfort.
take over. And I think I don't like the idea of like a teacher being overwhelmed, and then you want like you don't have that assistance. I want to be able to
Mm-hmm.
prepare you and assist you well so that you know what to expect.
It's
So
good to have that kind of backup, like something, like a safety net that you know that like, hey,
yeah,
I'm struggling with this. I need some advice, some assistance, and like also not be afraid to ask for it if you need it. Because everyone's learning all the time. You never know everything. So it's important to be able to take criticism, take feedback, and then try your best to apply it.
yeah,
Even though it
yeah,
might hurt in the moment, you need to
yeah.
find the strength and move on.
Absolutely, and use it to your advantage and be like, like I'm going to basically be your teacher and your mentor. So you're going to copy me, you're going to learn the things that, the ways to teach compare in like from what I'm teaching, and you're going to apply that into your teaching. So, you're going to have to look back at your lessons that you teach with us and even your lessons that you've given and
Mm,
compare the new lessons you've learned and how you can do better. And I think that's one of the best ways to learn how to teach it. It's easy, a bit like acting when you think about it, because as I say, you're learning to play the part of a teacher in that
mm,
way.
yeah.
And yeah, and you will, as I say, emotional maturity. I see that you are very emotionally in tune with the student, but I want you to work on your authority with them, because you see, like, it makes sense to me that you're saying that you worked on the conversation, like it was a friend, it was a buddy that you were working with the tuition. And that's completely fine because you teach well, but I want you to step into that teacher role where you can actually have that teacher space with the student, and you'll see how that will work. And I think you
I
will
guess
grow
it's
into that. Yeah,
sometimes different, like if you're with kids who are like more responsive and like engaging, and then like you can drop the that like
yeah,
boundary a little bit,
yeah,
but yeah, then you do have to have that like, okay, let's settle down now. um
yeah,
I did
yeah,
notice also like with the younger kids, like especially like with Skylar and Tuto, like at some point it was like, they get distracted very easily, and like you have to be like, okay, let's
yeah,
stop for a moment.
yeah, yeah.
You know and then like, do you need a break? Yeah,
Mm,
just but yeah,
absolutely.
definitely with a classroom, sometimes if there's multiple kids, you have to like, stop it now.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And you know, another thing will be like responding to worried parents. The parents can be so difficult sometimes.
I can
And just
imagine.
Yeah, learning how to respond to them, learning how to react to them,
Mm.
they can be quite scary. So you need to learn how to have that authority with them and know your place with them. And obviously, I will be there to guide you, but I am going to
Yeah.
want to see that level of authority. And also, how to teach in general, obviously. I wrote that down,
Mm.
but I will be looking at your lessons and giving you feedback, as I said earlier. And then, things like attending to every child's needs, even
Mm.
in a big group. So just
Yeah.
being in tune with your students and knowing, okay, this student needs this, like having a profile in your mind of where my student
Yeah.
is and where do
I do
I want
like
to
to
get
take
them.
notes while I'm teaching
Yeah,
because,
and
like,
you must
yeah,
take notes and you must show me your notes as well because, you know, um, it will show me the feedback that you're picking up on. So say you're observe them and observe like how I responded to them. Don't just take notes on say what their behavior is, but also how I'm responding to them and where do you think this
okay.
will possibly lead them to, so that you can sort of train yourself to respond that way. Like
Mhm.
because when you actually get yourself in this the situation of the classroom now, I have created an environment of the classroom where the kids, they know their place. They're not going to push, they're not going to be that difficult, but sometimes they are,
Yeah, they could.
especially the older ones. So in that case, you realize, okay, Gia was right about this. Like initially, you might feel like, I don't know why Gia's being so hard on them. And then when you get that hit, I had
Yeah, no,
I have this experience. I've had it before, but I had this experience where that literally the student asked the teacher, they were doing a like going over the past paper, and students can get so touchy about that. So the student told the teacher something and she started feeling grilled, and she was just so like scared. So then I took over the lesson, and I was helping, like
like,
I carried on, and I was very cheeky and stuff. And then afterwards, she just told me, Gia, I can't believe like how he spoke to me and stuff. And I said, these are the skills that, you're going to learn to have to deal with this kind of thing. And
mm,
I remember when I was a student teacher, I had a mentor teacher who I was learning from as well. And like the exact same thing happened to me. I said, oh, I marked the papers, let me give them corrections. And they all started grilling me. And I'm just so glad to have learned from my mentor teacher how to
mm,
respond to that. I never knew I would need that skill in the future, but I just, completely took over that. And, you know, um, like
yeah,
after a while, she learned how to respond to that, you know? So
mm,
that those kinds of things are going to be a
yeah,
huge part of
that's
the
beautiful.
experience. Yeah.
Because, like, yeah, no, I mean, I would approach a teacher if I saw something wrong and ask about it. And, like, but I wouldn't, like, attack the teacher about it.
Yeah.
But I have seen people who are like, oh, come on, man,
Yeah.
and then just
And it's
like,
like it's,
uh,
it's so the children do it in such a weird way. It's not direct. Like
mm,
even the student, he just said, ma'am, but this is not how you do it. This is how you do it. But that was enough to push her off the rails. She was just like, because she just that fear of like I could be wrong. And this is an adult student who is doing grade 9 in our classroom. We
mhm,
had 5 students, by the way. Now we have 4 because one of the students fell off. So sometimes that can happen. But we
mm,
just started this year. So, we're just growing this. Like we've been working on the tuition and now we started with the homeschooling and it's growing. So
yeah,
we want to make sure we have our tutors
that's
ready
good.
because we know how this works. I mean, I had a tutor who had joined as a teacher of a group. And what happened was that she didn't know how to manage the group on her own. And I realized, even though she said, I know what to do, I know how to teach the group, it was she didn't know how to deal with what
Mm,
came. Like, you have to be prepared. And I think you
yeah.
can, yeah, you get prepared when you see it
And
happening.
you can be as prepared as possible, but sometimes you only learn through experience.
Exactly that. Exactly that. Yeah. And then, you know, okay, so there is a few other things that I want to talk about, the things that you're gonna learn. Just a So some of the tasks that you will be expected to do is like learning admin tasks. So I will give you tasks that you would be expected to do in a classroom, in the classroom, such as
Okay.
creating exams, resourcing resources, posting things to the Google Classroom, things like that. So, you
Okay.
know, all of that you
Yeah.
will be learning how to do it in the classroom so
Cool.
that I know, okay, you're ready for that. Now you have been working online, so it's not a new thing for you. So at least you'll be able to know, at least, you know, the basic stuff. And yeah, you'll just get an idea of what's expected in that regard. And also the higher level things like how to set an exam paper, how the format should be,
Mm.
you know, things like that. And then, you know, you'll also learn how to plan the terms. So by the way, it's a mixed group. This is a mixed group of grades.
Okay.
So you will learn how to like manage the mixed group with different
Oh, I
foundations.
see.
Yeah, like teaching, you know, different grades, levels of learning and stuff like that. So there's that as well. So yeah. So you might have a mixed group of your own, or you might have a grade group, but I'm going to show you how to like simplify that so that you don't
I
have to
actually had
worry.
that happen to me once, like in a physical school. The school was kind of new, and I was in a class mixed with grade threes and grade fours.
Okay. Okay, that's interesting. How did that go?
Yeah, no, it was all right. Like I think they would like sort of like half, like they would sort of like give the grade threes their task and then the grade fours their task, and sort of like, flip-flop from one to the other, um,
Mm.
kind of thing. Yeah.
Mm. Okay, good. You have an idea of that. And you know, I'm gonna use this as a time to see like um how it is to work with you and if you could be the kind of teacher to be able to put with a student. You know, this is the time that I get to decide where like what how much I can vouch for you and decide that you're gonna be one of those
Okay.
tutors that I have on my team. And then, you know, it we do have a system now where we're moving into core versus premium tutors. So if you're a core
That's
tutor, then you are basic level tutor, and you know we will be marking your lessons and saying what level of a core tutor you are. And then from there,
Mhm.
you know, we will decide like, okay, current students, we can't up the rates for them because it's just their rate. So we'll pay you the same amount we're paying you. But then with new students, you know, for this is for the tuition, by the way. This is for the tuition.
Sorry. Oh,
This is
okay.
for the tuition, yeah. But yeah, with new students, we will then, you know, uh, sorry, what was I saying? Got a bit
The
distracted.
for tutor and then
Yeah,
tuition. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So, and then, you know, yeah, so we basically have that as well, where we'll be rating your lessons and deciding on that as well. Busha will be taking you through all of that and giving you feedback for your lessons and things like that. Okay.
Cool.
Okay, so let me just give you a bit of a structure on, you know, the payment range and all of that, right?
Cool.
So for the private one-on-one options, if you have a private student, the payment range could range between 6,000 a month to 10,000 a month, right?
Okay.
And if it is a group, then we'll start at a base amount, depending on the level of tutor you are. So we will start, say we only have one kid in the group. We will start with 6,000 rand, and then we'll go up as the kids go. We'll pay you 1,000 rand more until you know we get to 10 students. So
Uh,
you know, yeah. So that's how the payment thing will happen. And obviously, this will be a long-term thing. It won't be part-time like with the tuition. So it will
mm,
be you'll know you have that um consistency where it's like a month to month, even the months that you're not teaching completely the entire month, you know, that you're getting paid for that month. So it's not
okay.
per hour stuff, you know, but and then also we will like we do give bonuses as well. And with this, we will be giving depending on, you know, like how if we see that you're doing well, if we see that you know, like how happy we are with your performance and your admin and stuff like that. And you know, in that case, we will pay you bonuses as well. So that can range
Okay.
from like 100 to 1,000. It just depends, you know. So there's that as well. But yeah, that is
Okay.
the how this is gonna work.
Amazing. Okay. And I just want to ask, like, with the actual mentoring, um, what would the times be like for that, and like, how would I like prepare for that, like, time wise and stuff?
Okay. So do you mean like how much time will you need to spend in it?
Yeah, like what are the hours, like with days, like how, yeah, like
Yeah.
yeah, like what can I expect?
Okay.
And does it happen all at once? Do I
Yeah.
choose like a couple of days as we go? Yeah.
Okay. So no problem. So basically it's what we expect is that you must come for a minimum of 10 days a month, right? And the times are between Mondays to Thursdays, 8:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. So what happens is that sometimes, it's better to join earlier just so that you know that you won't be late for the lesson. So just join. I said 8 a.m. on the messages because I know that it's better to join by say 8:15. Then sometimes I can even speak to you before the lesson starts. So 8 o'clock, you should know that okay, you're ready. So 8:15, but 8:30 we start our homeschooling, and then until 1 p.m. And then we have Fridays as well. So, sometimes we will be doing Fridays. So then you can know, okay, I can join and see how those days work because those are extra days. And then you can learn how to use those days to focus on extra things.
Okay.
So,
And oh, sorry.
yeah, so you can just let me know which times you would choose for this and which times you'd be able to come. And then you just commit to those times, those days, and then the rest of the days you can come as often as you'd like, and you can sort of attend and take notes and everything. You can do that. So yeah, yeah,
So it would be like from 8 in the morning till 1 o'clock. Okay. Okay.
yes,
Got
yes,
you.
that's correct.
And if some no, I don't think my lessons run in the morning, so it should be fine. Okay,
Mm.
but if someone did want to have like a lesson in the morning, then would I just have to choose another day,
Yeah,
or like pop out?
yeah,
Okay, no.
just choose another day, and then yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, you can just say that, okay, unless obviously you are teaching in that time, then obviously you have to like make that your main commitment if you are a teacher of a group, like properly, hired and everything. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So the training is that like, okay, so it's like per month from like next month, let's say.
Yes.
So like I would do 10 days every month.
Yeah, absolutely. So in that time,
Um,
you must look at I will give you our term plans, right? So you must decide which lessons you want to teach. And then, come back to me before the lesson happens and go through what you're going to be covering and how you're going to be doing the lesson, and
oh
I'll
wait.
take you through that.
So is this
Okay.
the sorry, I just want to
No
understand.
problem.
Is this the mentoring? Like, would I be teaching during the mentoring? Or
Yes, you will be teaching as
okay, I
well.
see.
Not completely, not all the time.
Like
Just
not by
just
myself.
like
Like,
no, no,
okay.
no. No, you will be
Yeah.
observing. Like that's gonna be your time to observe, take
Okay,
notes.
I
Um,
understand.
Teaching will be part of the training. So there will be times that you will teach like selected lessons so that I can see how you teach and train you on teaching. So how do you deal with the group? How do you like there's gonna be a lot of things to cover in that regard. So then I can train you with all of that. So yeah, that's how it's gonna work.
No. Okay, sweet.
Yeah, take
And
this
then
as a chance. Like, if just say, hypothetically speaking, even if we like, because I don't know if I'm going to exactly have a group that I can put you in. So I like it just depends on like, I know that I'm growing the homeschool and but obviously you just never know. So, but take it as a chance to really improve your skills in teaching and knowing that you can deal with any teaching gig that you will have in the future. And it's just so rewarding to realize um, just the level of challenges that you can deal with in a classroom and to be able to upskill on that level. I feel like especially if you are put in a situation where you have to manage this, you realize the worth of this you know
mm,
yeah.
I get you. Yeah. No, and like I mean, I'm really like I was really excited when I saw like you were talking about like the mentoring and the just like learning about it a bit more, because I think I don't know, I think it's really valuable to have as well, like, just in general, it's good to have training and stuff. And yeah, I really appreciate that. And then I also just wanted to ask a question. I also mentioned it when I initially joined you guys, but with like the acting and everything that I'm doing, like I might have like the random audition here and there. Like let's say it gets to the point where I am like teaching a class and stuff. If I have like some sort of like emergency audition that I need to go to or something, it's not like it happens like every week, like but it is spontaneous. Can I let you guys know? And then could there be a plan made to like kind of, like get someone to cover me or something like
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
if that happens?
absolutely. Like you would just let me know beforehand so that say you need to audition the day before, like so just let me know at least like a few
Okay.
days before if possible, so that we
Oh,
can swap around your thing and then you can say, okay, Gia,
okay.
I won't be able to come on this day, I'll be able to come on that day. So yeah, it will be you can do that. But then obviously if you have like a proper position, then that would you'd have to consider like moving everything around that because then you'll be needed as the main person
Yes,
for
I understand.
that will be different. Yeah, that's like a tuition lesson, like you actually need to be there all the time. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah, sometimes they tell me like the day before and I have to like, but like it could also be like not like necessarily the whole day, like maybe it's just for a few hours and then I can come back,
Mhm.
you know. So I can, yeah, like it might just sometimes it's even just an hour. I do know that like on Fridays and occasionally, well, it's mainly Fridays, but I do like a voiceover in the morning. Like it takes like 20 minutes usually, and then like I would probably be done by like maybe like 9, 10 sort of thing. That happens usually once a month at the end of near the end of the month. So yeah, I mean, would I be able to like work around that as well?
Yeah, absolutely. That sounds
Because
so cool. What voiceover do you do?
thank you. So I don't know. Have you ever heard those like stay alert, stay alive ads that they did for Pick and Pay road safety?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm doing like ads for the Stay Alert, Stay Alive thing. I did do one Pick
That's
and
so
Pay one,
cool.
and I've been doing some for Torga as well.
Right, right.
About like eyesight and stuff
Yeah.
and how that affects road safety.
Oh my word. Okay. That is so interesting. I'm just gonna go
Thank
answer
you.
the door quickly.
No
Looks like there's
problem.
somebody ringing my bell. I'll see you now. Just 1 second.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Gosh, it seems like this guy is, I don't know, taking his grandmother's time to come up the stairs, or I don't know what he's doing. So I'm just going to have to wait and see.
No
So when he
problem.
gets here, then I will have to go back and get it. Yeah.
But yeah, oh gosh, I mean, this sounds like something really amazing, and I look forward to learning more from you guys, and also just like, I mean, even the potential of like actually becoming a teacher for these kids and stuff. Like, it sounds really, really amazing. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. I was
That's
very happy when I saw your message.
That's awesome. That's awesome to hear. And yeah, it's it's a special training. It's a mentorship from my side, and I'm going to be assisting you in the best way that I can. I have up to 10 years of experience actually. So, I have a lot of know-how in how to deal with this, how to actually, go about the different stuff. And I love to mentor teachers because I love to see them come into their power when it comes to this, And anyways, when like there's that aspect, and there's also just getting prepared for what to expect when you actually teach in this kind of
Mhm.
situation. So there's that, those two things, like just preparing you, but then also mentoring you to get to that place where you you are the kind of teacher that you would really, really want to be. I'll be back now.
No problem. Okay,
Okay, so now it's suited. My God.
amazing.
Yeah. So, and then about this training, let's say we need you to teach lessons that like now it starts to become something where we need you. Then we will pay you for the times that we know, okay, we're going to need you for XYZ time, Then we'll pay you for those lessons, or we'll pay you
Oh,
for like on a monthly basis in that regard. I don't know
thanks.
like how long the training will be,
Okay.
because it just depends how long it takes for you to get to that level where I just say, okay, I don't think
Yeah.
you need to be here anymore. Like you're done,
Mhm.
So like it could be 6 months. So I think if you do have that free time to just sit like join in throughout the terms, you must just do that so that okay, it does give you that chance to secure that spot with us possibly, and then also get that training, and you're getting to use that time to just get that training with us. You know what I'm saying?
Fantastic. So then, like, what's the earliest I can start with, like, the mentoring and all that?
Okay. So we start on the 28th, right, of this month, but then
Okay.
it's just going to be like 28, like it's barely even eight, but you can join on the 28th, or you can join on the 1st, like from August. So it's
Okay.
up to you, from the 4th of August or the 28th. I don't mind if you join on the 28th and you just start observing, taking notes, telling me which lessons you want to do. I don't mind that at all.
Awesome. And just to ask, I don't know, it might be a bit of a dumb question, but
No problem. Probably
um,
not.
so like, so it's from, so you, I would be looking into these lessons from 8 till 1. Um, would it be like multiple, like like sorry, like are you teaching like one group from 8 till 1, or is it multiple groups from 8 till 1, or like different subjects, or like how is that working?
Good question. So it's one group, right? And then there might be break rooms. So I might break a room and be like, okay, you're gonna work with this student, you and then my other tutor, because they like there will be other intern like trainees as well that will be working with us. So but then so I might put you in a separate break room with students, but it's one group and then they all just join and we work with them. So that's currently how it works. And then the subjects thing is also like it just sorry, I'm just trying to remember your question.
Like what subjects are being taught? Like is it just like one
Yeah.
in the whole day, or is it like
Yeah,
um,
no, it's okay. We do focus a lot on maths, but we focus on all the subjects because we need to like get through the syllabus with them. So this will like be a great thing to take note of because it's possible that we could have a student anytime in the year and then we just put you with them. We could have like a private student and then we just end up putting you with that student. So that is a possibility. So you can take notes of all of this from now. So like the subjects will be just all subjects like in a school, say it was like a little like a normal school but only homeschooling, so
okay.
they have a lot to cover. So yeah, it's not just one subject. I used to do that when it was just one kid in a classroom, if I ever if I was doing that. But if it's grade 6 and 5, you can do that. You can do one subject a day if you're doing that, but then with the older grades you kind of have to push them beyond that one
Yeah,
subject, because they have to like push like with their work and
I can
stuff.
imagine it can also be a little bit daunting for them, like, one subject the whole day.
Yeah, yeah. And you'll notice that the learning environment is quite relaxed compared to school.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. It's a very like chilled learning environment. So it can
Mhm.
be quite shocking especially if you're the kind of teacher that's used to like this high stress environments. But for a teacher, I know it's still a bit more stressful because you're the one that has to go to kind of
Yeah,
run, so there's that stress of that.
running the thing,
Yeah.
preparing.
But once you get
Okay.
confident in that, and also you learn how to teach subjects where you're not completely confident with the information, but then how do you teach that? How do you use online resources and things like that to back you up so that you can teach the lesson and help them out? And actually,
Mhm.
it's the art of teaching and helping them to learn is a whole separate art from just knowing the work, you know?
So I'll be watching like lessons that I'm like subjects that I'm not necessarily teaching, like math, for
Yes.
example. Because
Yes.
I think I don't think I'll be very helpful with that. But
Yeah.
get a
Yeah,
idea of how the teaching in general is working.
absolutely.
Oh,
Because if you have one student that you have to work with for all subjects, then you will have to teach them math, you'll have to teach them whatever subjects they're doing, because you the
mm.
one private tutor. So how do you manage, you know what I'm saying? And how do you still have that confidence and still go about it? Like I don't I'm not the most confident with Afrikaans. I mean, I don't like to say that it's bad to say to yourself something that you don't want to believe, but it's one of those subjects, even like science, like natural science. I like to teach it. I realized that after a while, but there was a time when I was just like, I don't feel that confident with it. But then I had to learn the skill of building my confidence to be able to teach it in a way that doesn't like like in a way where I'm not expected to master the topic before I teach it, you know?
So like,
So
oh, sorry, continue.
yeah, because it's different from being a subject specialist versus helping them to understand the topic of the day and like okay, maths is that one subject that sort of builds upon itself. So like you gotta like keep going over the work. But remember, there's so many online resources that you can use to assist you with people who are experts. And while you're learning the work, you can be teaching them how to learn from you and how to learn the work. So there's that skill as well.
I'll
Yeah.
see how that works, because like I guess like I mean there's subjects that I didn't take in high school, like that I dropped and stuff, like I
Yeah.
took. various things, but maybe not, like I didn't take like science or bio and things like that. I went up to like grade 9. So
Yeah. That should like
um,
that should be
I
fine
don't
because
want
like
to.
mm, like I don't want to put you in a situation where like say you're teaching a grade 10 student a subject that you are completely like accounting, for example, that would be crazy. But then if you've done it up till grade 9, you have at least that much knowledge to be able to teach them that much. So you'll see, like you like it's a whole training. You'll get an
Correct, because
idea
I
of
don't
how
want to
it
like
works.
I don't want to cause someone to fail because I don't know what I'm talking about. Like
Yeah,
things that I'm
yeah,
confident
no,
in. But
yeah,
like, yeah,
yeah.
I
And
just wanted to.
remember this
Yeah.
happened with Emil and how scared you were about that. And
Uh,
look at you now.
yeah, yeah, that's true. But I mean, I was still like, it was still for English, so I was so like, like English,
Yeah,
I can understand, I can like, but like, yeah, things like math or science, those were subjects I personally were like was like big time struggling with. So like I didn't take them for a reason. So like yeah, I just want to. I mean, I'll see how it goes. Like
yeah,
obviously, as I watch the lessons, how you guys do it. So like, so you teach like everything, even if like it's something that you didn't like.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Because, for example, like accounting, right? I
Yeah.
was in a situation like I took accounting in grade 10. I went for tuition. I just wasn't getting it. And I was too stressed. Like I couldn't understand basic account. Like it was too hard. I don't know why. And I think I don't consider myself to be someone who wouldn't understand it. But at that time, there was there was just too much to juggle for me to actually take out the time, like regulate my nervous system and be able to
Yeah.
understand the subject. So now when I teach it, like I have to get through my mental blocks around that. But the beauty part of it is that most of the students in the classroom have those mental blocks. So you can always apply whatever you're learning to the way you're teaching them and be like, you can help them through their blocks with it. But
Okay.
if you feel after this training, if you still feel like, I don't know if I can do this grade or this is just too much for me, Gia. Like, then it's not a problem. Like, I won't place you with a student of that grade. You know what I'm saying?
I get
So,
you.
yeah, of course, if I put you with whatever student, you have to do the whole grade with the student. So like
Got
if I
you.
put you say in yeah, like a mixed grade of say grade 1 to 3, then you must know grade 1 to 3 all the
Okay.
subjects and just teach them that. So yeah. And you'll see how the work stacks up on each other. And that's the fun of teaching caps. Like it's like the work tends to be very layered. So a lot of things that they're learning in grade 1, they're still learning in grade 2, they're still learning in grade 3,
Okay.
you know.
But that's
So
good because then it like builds them up like nicely and you know because like I know a lot of people don't have like the cores, the
yeah,
basis, and then like yeah, so I guess like having that foundation is really important, and I like that it actually builds and steps
yeah,
up like that.
yeah. And I think your task will obviously be to build your confidence in the subjects up till grade 9, or like sort of you can follow my mentorship on how to build your confidence in a subject that you're
Okay.
unaware of. So maybe what I'll do is that I will take a topic that I'm not very confident with. And then I can show you how I build my confidence around that topic and how I would teach the topic, even if I don't completely understand the topic very well, you
Okay.
know, or if it's something that I still need to master, because so much of the time,
Mm-hmm.
the level that you think you need to know to teach a student is so different from the level that you actually do need to know. And I'm not saying like I have had tutors that don't really care about their level. So when I say this, they'll be like, yeah, whatever, and then they'll teach, but they don't really know the work. So there is that, and you have to have that balance where you know that you can do it. But,
Okay.
you know, yeah, like, let's see if you can manage this. Like, let's see if you can take this on and sort of pick up on
Look,
this.
I'm
Yeah.
willing to try my best, and I'm up for a challenge. I look, I try to do the best in everything that I do. So, I'll see. I'll go into the mentorship with an open mind and approach it as positively as possible.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, it sounds very interesting. Like, yeah, I didn't like even think about that before we spoke about it now. Like,
You were
yeah,
thinking
so
like
that'd be very
English. It's
interesting.
going to be the
Yeah,
subject
like
English.
English, or
Yeah.
maybe like even like drama, if or like I mean, I also like. I mean, look, the subjects that I did take were drama, cat, history, art. So those are things that I might be a bit more confident in approaching. Yeah, and then like like your English, your Afrikaans. Like I mean, I did do generally okay, and that's in high
Yeah.
school. I did well. Sometimes even better than in English.
Yeah. Wow.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I am Greek as well, so like I went to a Greek school, so we learned Greek
Oh
too.
my God.
I don't know if there's anyone doing that.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That
I
is
mean,
so
there's
interesting.
thank you. So yeah, I mean, there are a few things that I am definitely confident in, but
Yeah.
yeah, I'll see. Maybe I'll see how I am now. I've
Yeah.
grown,
'Cause
I've gone through uni. This.
yeah. Otherwise, you could be the kind of tutor that takes just one subject. But if it's from grade 1 to 9, we won't need you for a particular subject. Like because there are many tutors that are like, okay, I'll teach the whole grade up till grade, like all the subjects in the grade. So it's like I won't actually be able to use you in that case that much unless like I can't really think of how I would need to use you in that kind of situation. So I want you
Okay.
to sort of push yourself beyond that,
Okay. I will
so that you
give it
can
a
try
go.
to, yeah. Otherwise,
I'm
like I
happy to
don't
try.
like I'll have to think about how would I push you. But you'll see, like I'm 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 sure you know more Afrikaans than me, but I'll still be teaching Afrikaans. Like it's hilarious. I laugh at myself. But they know so less that it really doesn't matter because I know the skills. I know how to answer comprehension. I know how to understand things. I understand words. Um, I feel like my sentence construction could be better, but I know how to understand things.
Yes, I get you. Yeah.
Those skills
Okay.
and language skills. Language is not the hardest thing. It's like a form of maths. So they can, if you can find the system in it, you teach them the system, you're good to go. And you can always prepare your lessons before. So there's a lot that goes into this. But
Mm, mm,
but yeah, you know,
okay.
so and
No, I
yeah,
mean that's really interesting. I'll definitely try it out. And take on like everything during the mentorship, try and absorb everything. And yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm happy to try.
yeah, and like let's see how you do with this. I know that you have the potential to be a great teacher, and I know that
Thank you.
if you can do well with this mentorship, then you can be one of our top choices. So I want that for you. So
Thank you. Appreciate
it's
it.
you're welcome. And I think that, this is something you should consider. And if you feel like
Definitely.
it's too difficult, or you feel pushed, good, like it's a good time for you to be like, I'm gonna push through this. I'm gonna face this challenge because trust
Mm,
me, this is the least of your
mm.
concerns when it
Yeah,
comes
look,
to home.
character
It's just
development.
yeah, there's just so many things that you're going to learn from this. Like literally my interns would tell me that like Gia, I've learned so much from you, and things I never even thought I would have learned or it's been
Wow.
expected to know, and
Yep.
also life skills, like things you can apply in your life. Like
Mm.
I don't know how to explain it. Like you'll see when you actually you know being a teacher is just, and the things that you teach students, and the things that you get them through, you got to get yourself
Yeah.
through that first. Like, can a student who is not confident in a subject ever do well in the subject if they just resign themselves and say, I'm just not good at this? you know
Yeah.
so like you getting by you getting through that block, you're going to help them when they just say, ma'am, I can't do this. I can't do this subject. And you say, this, these are things that I got through, and I'm going to show you how to get through it, you know?
Mm. Yeah, no, I can see that that would be like quite like the inspiration for them, and like, yeah, to push them a little bit more because you pushed yourself. So you
Yeah.
can just be like, yeah,
Yeah.
look, I did it. You can do it too. Like,
Yeah. And it's not like it's not like the tuition where you're expected to be an expert in the subject, but
okay,
the skill is how to teach the subject, even if you don't know it that well,
okay, very
you
interesting.
know? Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm very curious to learn about that, and like that
Yeah.
kind of like that sounds very different. Like,
Yeah.
I, yeah, my mindset is like shifting a bit. I didn't
Yeah, it
like
is.
into the thinking that way, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
cool. Let's see how that
Yeah.
works. Yeah, I'm very interested
Like for
to see.
example, you weren't a you weren't a qualified English teacher, but I chose to put you with Emil, even though his
Mhm.
father was freaking the hell out about having the best, most qualified English teacher. I was like, no, I know Janina is gonna be the one for this. And even you were
Okay.
like, I don't know if I can do it. And I was like, but I can see, I
Yeah, like
know that
it wasn't
you,
as
yeah,
like, yeah, um,
you, yeah,
it wasn't as crazy like as I was expecting. Like, I got
see,
like a little bit nervous, but I also tend to overthink things a little bit. So that's why I
yeah,
also tend to ask a lot of questions and like try to
yeah,
like get everything out there because I like to know the situation I'm in, and yeah, and then but you know what, sometimes overthinking helps because then you're pleasantly surprised by the outcome.
yeah. And that's another thing. You learn how to do impromptu lessons where it's just
Mm,
sudden, you weren't prepared. You've got to help the student. What do you do? Like, how do you help
yeah.
them? Because you don't have the answer. So
I've
how do you
noticed
get
that
them to the
too,
answer?
even with
How,
the tutoring, because
yeah,
sometimes like I'm prepared to go in there with I've got a lesson plan, and then they're like,
yeah.
I have it coming up. I need help, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
drop it, let's go.
yeah. Exactly. And that happens a lot with homeschooling. It's because there's just so many subjects to tackle. And sometimes you just
Mm,
end up being like, okay, let's expand in this, and we're not going to do this thing that I prepared for, but I'll do this later. But this I didn't prepare for, and I'm not even that confident in the subject. So how do we do it? And then there's also another thing of the students sometimes being those know-it-all students that make you feel uncomfortable with not knowing something. And how do you like put them in their places? How do you teach them their place?
I
So
might
it's
have
it
been that person
hey,
occasionally.
hey.
No, I said I might have been that person
Oh,
occasionally. I'm joking.
oh yeah.
No,
Oh my
I
word.
wasn't mean about it. It's just like,
Yeah.
sometimes I notice something and be
Like you would
like, yeah.
challenge your teacher, like you would challenge your teacher.
But I wasn't like, mean about it, so
And
they
I think
didn't mind. But
I think the
good
best
to
thing
have
is
a
when you
healthy
challenge,
challenge.
yeah, when you challenge a teacher and they just tell you the thing you need to hear, and then you're like, man, I respect this teacher. Like this teacher is now the most respected teacher for me because after I have, I know my place with them. I feel safe with them to know that
Yeah.
they know how to deal with me. I think that that is important. That's a skill that you'll probably pick up as
Yeah.
well. Yeah.
Sometimes, like, I mean, it's not like you're not learning at all. Sometimes people, like kids, they teach you things, you teach them. Like, it's an exchange. Like, you never know. Like, you can't like block off some, even if they may be like being a know-it-all, let's say, like, sometimes you have to admit when you're wrong. Or like, but if they are incorrect, then yeah, you have to be able to be like, you have to explain why and you
Yeah.
know approach that.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it's definitely an exchange that needs to happen.
Yeah, like so many times, in the classroom, I will get something wrong, and my student, and I'll be like, damn, I'm wrong. But if you can't admit that, then it puts you in a weak position because you're very stressed out the whole time that I'm
Mm,
going to make a mistake. But at the same time, that you have to learn how to communicate to them that just because I'm wrong doesn't mean I'm not your teacher. Doesn't mean I don't know more than you. Doesn't mean you don't need me to help you to
yeah.
get through this. And for some reason, students sometimes they in denial of that. They're like, I don't need this. And that's when I'm like, right, I'm going to show you how much you need this because it's the only way we're going to manage in this classroom. Otherwise, I there's no point. There's no point of us working together because you my teacher then. There has to be that hierarchy. And as a new teacher, new teachers always have this fear. They always say, like, I need to learn from my students. And there is a truth to that. But in theory, in practice, you have to be the
No,
teacher,
like, yeah, like
Like,
the no, I mean, yeah, like it's like a being able to admit when you were wrong and being able to like absorb that information, but also still maintaining your position so that
yeah,
they don't like look down on you and then take over
yeah.
the class and it's
And take
chaos.
over
And
you and just be like, yeah,
because I've seen
you don't
that
know what
happen
you're
before.
doing. Yeah. So like there's just so much to it, but there always has to be that. And I think that's why I just always have the cat out of the bag that, yeah, I'm gonna make mistakes. Sometimes I'm teaching them a maths thing and my brain just freezes because I'm thinking about so many things. I'm thinking about the student. I'm thinking I'm gonna have to message this child's mother and then she's gonna go crazy when I message her. And now that's in my head. So then I'm like, and then I just have a brain freeze and I'm like, my brain's not
Mm.
working. Sorry. Go for a break. I'll see you guys later. I need a break, And I just see them laughing and smiling to themselves, like, oh, wow, man, she doesn't know herself. And I'm like, yeah, fine, take the satisfaction. I even tell them, take the satisfaction that I don't know what I'm doing. It's fine. Be happy for a moment. At least
That's
you know how
hilarious.
I feel all the time with you guys in the classroom.
No, it sounds like it's definitely an experience, but like yeah, I feel like I can learn so much from you guys and like like I mean yeah, some of the things you said like I mean it's like I didn't consider that like okay, yeah, so I can see that I'm probably gonna find a lot to like I'm gonna be exposed to a lot through this and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I enjoy expanding my horizons and all
Yeah,
that.
and sometimes, as I was saying, like you think, okay, Gia, I know that I need to be, say you feel like you need to be more serious about the work, and I'm not being that serious about the work, something like that. Or you think like, Gia is just doing this, but I think that we need to be more lenient with them or something. And I'm
Mm.
like, fine, go, I'm gonna leave you. I'm going to like off my webcam and I'm gonna watch you just face the experience on the other side of that. And then afterwards, I will take the teacher out and be like, you see, this is what I was talking about. This is why when I say this, it's because I used to think like that. And now I realize, okay, this is not the right way to do this because
Yeah.
if I'm constantly fighting the battle of the fear of or having to like I don't know how to take full authority with them, then all my energy goes into that. And then
Mhm.
I don't have time to be able to be a mentor, to be able to be a guide for them. So
Yeah.
yeah. So those are new teacher stuff. When you get through that, you will be at a point where you'll be like, okay, I know what to expect here, and I understand why Gia would even bring up something like that. I don't I need to think of an exact example, but I probably will remind you in the future. But yeah, anyway,
No problem.
yeah. So um yeah, there's just and then I'll teach you, also just a note that Impact has textbooks, they have past papers and stuff. So it's not like everything has to be written from scratch, everything has to be sourced out from scratch. Like everything's there. You just sometimes you'll need extra information and things like that. But like it's not like you have this like crazy admin work where you have to like create. That's what happens in normal schools if you're teaching in a school
Yeah.
like sometimes they won't even give you the past papers. Then you got to set papers from scratch. I don't understand how they do things like that, but I've had experiences it's really bad. So,
Well, look,
those kind, yeah.
there
Um,
was one occasion where we had to write our own paper, basically, for a maths lit exam. We had
oh
to
my
like
God.
write all the questions,
Wow.
basically, and
As a
answer
student.
them ourselves, as a test. Yeah, and you know what? If it's any consolation, I got 100 for that.
Wow. But you were a student.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Oh
I
my
mean,
God.
at least there's some experience in writing, like preparing an exam.
Oh my God. That's interesting.
No, it was an interesting thing, but I actually kind of liked it because, it's like the answer you want in your head, so you can kind of like.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe we can give them that activity. Probably consider that.
Hmm,
Yeah, that's very
no,
interesting.
no, that's actually not a bad one, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so I think I've covered. I mean, I did look through your lesson, and I do have a lot
Mhm.
of feedback and stuff. And there's a lot of things I love
Cool.
about the way you teach. And I think as you build that and you grow on that, you're going to be such an excellent teacher. And I'm really excited about that. But I'll probably give you this feedback, say like in the mentorship over time, and I'm actually working with you, and then I'll discuss all of this with you. So I think for now, let's just leave it at this, and then we'll go from there.
Okay. That
Yeah.
sounds good. I'm looking forward to learning from you guys and yeah, just seeing like what this evolves into.
Yeah. Absolutely. Me too. Me too. Okay. So I'll see you then. You can let me know when you'd like to join, if it will be on the
Cool.
28th or on the 4th of August, and we can go from there.
All right, sweet. I'll take a look at like what my weeks are looking like and stuff and just arrange it like that.
Awesome.
If I join from the 28th, like will it be like part of like the August month or like
It will be separate. So it'll just be July's month, and August month will be separate. Yeah.
okay, cool,
Yeah.
cool. Got you.
Yeah. Awesome.
All right, sweet. So,
All
yeah,
right.
I'll keep you updated and we'll go from there.
Awesome. You must just let me know then.
No problem. I will.
Okay. Have a good evening.
Thank you. You too. Thanks for the
Thank you.
discussion.
It's a pleasure. It
Bye-bye.
was nice meeting you.
Nice to meet
Bye-bye.
you. Bye.
Bye.